Hey everybody, welcome to Narwhals episode 22. My name's Drew Wilson.
Kieran Flanagan.
And Brandon Christopher is joining us.
How's it going?
Welcome.
Welcome. How's it going? We're getting ready to start this show. And if you join us live, you'll see all the hiccups that we run
Like
through
25 minutes ago, we
Yeah.
were getting ready to record this.
Yeah, so if you listen in next week, make sure you join us live. We record Thursdays at around 10:45-ish.
10:45.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cursing.
Well,
I just met you, but that was a lot of cursing.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's lying, everyone. He's lying really bad. Cool. So let's get a quick intro. Tell us about you, what you do, what you're doing.
So, where do I start? I mean, I'm born and raised in San Diego.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah. I love this place so much. I went to the University of San Diego as well. Triple major, finance, marketing, communication studies.
How long did that take?
So it took 4 years.
Oh, okay.
That's the way to do it.
But to add a note to that, I get pretty much like during high school, like I would take college courses every summer because I was like, I'm sick of being at home. And like what most people don't know is like you can take community college courses for free if you're a high school student. So like the first day of college, I had like 65 units. So
wait, you can take it for free if you're a high school student. Do you have to have, is there like anything you have to sign up to or like prereqs or anything?
So you just need to like give them your transcript and like if it's like a math class, like there might be a prereq for that, for instance. But other than that, it's kind of a free for all.
It's a way to hack it. I did the exact same thing, but I was at a private Jesuit school where they would bring it, and we had a Jesuit university. And this was in Colorado. That was in the same town, and that was like tangentially related, like they shared the same name. But half of the classes I took my junior and senior year were like AP classes, so they counted as college classes. So it's like, yeah, I walked in freshman year, day one of college, I was a second semester sophomore, like because of those accumulated credits. And I actually did the same thing. I got 3 degrees in the 4 years because it was like I'm already like a year and a half into this whole thing, like ahead of everybody. Like I might as well get the most out of my money.
Exactly.
That's crazy. I did something similar in Washington State. I don't think you can just do that. They have a program though called Running Start, and as long as you have a C average, then you can apply and you can take community college classes for free, but you don't have to go to high school
In the summer.
Oh, really?
Oh, just
no,
anytime.
the whole time. Like you just like peace out high school. And you go to the community college, and it counts for your high school and your college credits. So by the time I graduated high school, I only had one more class I had to take that I took that summer to get my AA degree.
Wow.
And that was the last time I went to school.
Triple major. So unlike I didn't earn 3 bachelor's degrees, unfortunately. I only got 2.
What was the third one?
It was a triple major because 2 of them were business. Like one was like a BBA and the other was a BA.
Gotcha. What's BBA?
Bachelor's of Business Administration.
Oh, but that's not a bachelor's?
So
technically?
No, that is a bachelor's degree. And then so the other one is a Bachelor's of Arts.
Okay.
So I don't know. USD has the different.
That's 2 of mine were. It's maybe similar. 2 of mine were film.
Okay.
But since you had to get like a ton of extra credits to qualify to be if
filmist?
you wanted to be a filmist, if you wanted to be there were 2 tracks, right? You could do the film production or you could do the film theory. And I had so many credits. I was like, I'll just do both.
Community college?
Yeah. No. This is University of Colorado.
Oh.
And so I was like, I'll just do both. Yeah. But one is technically a BA and one is a BFA. Yeah. But I mean, they gave me pieces of paper for both. I assume they're both legit. And then a BS in psychology just for whatever reason.
BS?
Yeah. In psychology.
I didn't get an AA degree. I got an AAS.
What's an AAS?
It's not an associate's in arts degree. It's an associate's in arts and sciences.
Oh, you got both.
Oh, there we go.
An emphasis in science.
School. Emphasis.
Yeah.
It says and science.
Yeah, it does. It has the science on the end. So you may as well call me a scientist.
Triple degree. So back to your story.
Triple major. I was president of the Entrepreneurship Club, newspaper, all that good stuff at USD.
What does that entail? Sorry, I'm just going to jump in.
No, you're fine.
What is the president of the Entrepreneur Club entail? Like, what do you guys do at the college for entrepreneurs?
So we would have meetings every other Thursday. No, or maybe it was every Thursday. I graduated 3 years ago. But so we would have meetings like every Thursday. And like sometimes I would try to find like usually like some like alum entrepreneur to come in and speak and talk about what they're doing, their journey from USD, where that took them. Sometimes we had what I call the Soundboard Thursday, which was essentially like I would have like Rubicon or whoever cater, and we would
I love Rubicon.
It's amazing.
Their Rubicon salad. This is a plug for Rubicon. Give me free food,
please do. And so pretty much like I would have people come in and like say like, this is my idea, this is what I want to do, and then like the whole like group would like essentially like
shoot it down,
pretty much like in a very friendly, collegial way. They would like say, well, what about this, and or what can you do about this? Like I loved that, you know. And I always knew like I wanted to start my own company, so I was like, this is where it's at for me. And I met great people doing that. So I had like a twisted route of thinking like I'm going to go into like investment banking and then like stack a few dollars and like start my own business after that point in time. Like the one bank I wanted more than anything, Goldman Sachs. Like they flew me to New York, you know, for like all the recruiting stuff, and like I completely fell in love with them. And I remember like I left Super Day, which is like where like everyone goes for like all the like long interviews and everything like that. And I flew back to San Diego, and like the second I landed in San Diego from New York, like I had an email saying I did not get the job.
Oh jeez. Oh wow.
Like they didn't waste any time. And I was like, well, that sucks. And then like I ended up being like a management consultant for like a year, where then I went to my current position, which I previously interned for as well, while I was at ESD. But my current position is vice president of customer experience at Boomer. Employee time and attendance and management to help you run your workforce. So,
sweet. And where's that?
So Boomer is I'll say San Diego. We used to be like San Francisco headquartered. And so our CEO, he moved to Spain. And so there's no one in San Francisco. So our address is technically San Diego now. But we're largely like distributed. So we have like 2 of us in San Diego, 1 in Spain, 1 in Sacramento, and are looking for more developers in Spain right now.
Okay.
So,
nice.
yeah.
So if you're
Let's go do it.
What's it?
I'm in.
Boomer.com. So BOOMR, no E.
There it is.
No E.
I'm going to break the rules on podcasting here. There we go.
Am I not close enough?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Look at
fourth
that.
wall.
All the audio freaks are like, what did you just do?
I'm sorry. Okay, this works.
Yeah, so that's cool. So you got that job like right out of college?
So the management consulting job, or
Boomer, like pretty much, like was it very long before?
So I was a management consultant at Booz Allen for about 10 months.
Okay.
And then like we met at Bird Rock Coffee Roasters, another San Diego staple. And like they offered me the job, and like 15 minutes later, I sent in my 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
So
sweet.
How did you know that's what you wanted? Like, how did you know you were ready to do that as soon as it became available? Like it was something that you were just gung ho about? Did you know it pre-existing?
Were you in the startup world at that point, or was it just entrepreneurship?
So, I mean, I was like attending like startup events like all the time at that point in time. But as far as like the actual position, like I knew it worked for me because I had previously interned for the company. So with that, I was like, okay, well, I love this team. Like I love these people. I love what they're about. Like I love where they're going. So I was like, yeah, like I called my sister Andrea, and I was like, I'm considering taking a significant pay cut to go join this team.
Sounds like startups.
Yeah, and my sister, who like she's a pharmacist. She doesn't get the startup world or like any of that.
The risk taking. If you have a pharmacist that takes risks, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Get a new pharmacist.
So
really try this new drug.
So
I just took 2. I think it works.
Yes.
It's in beta.
Yeah. So my sister, with her signature, she's like,
Yeah.
But then later, she actually tagged me in this post. She's like, do like what you dream of every day, and I was like, yeah, but I'd already sent it my 2 weeks.
Always dreaming.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, but it felt good, and so. Yeah, they were like, we like you. And I was like, I like you. and we came together.
Nice. That's awesome.
Very cool.
It's super, and the first shape, Ashok from TCA, he kind of touched on it too in Breadfield. He mentioned Breadfield's book, but like being in the startup like world, having the support of people, even if like you're going to do your own thing anyway, you weren't waiting for the approval.
Yeah.
But like having that,
it makes all the
is
difference.
invaluable. Yeah. It's like, cause it is very risky. It is very like demanding, and you have to give yourself a lot of yourself, if not all of yourself, all of the time.
Of course.
And it's having that like support and knowing that it's there, and knowing that when we're jamming for a cave week or a late hours, like knowing that things are supported at home and being taken care of and understood, like it's huge.
Yeah.
It's invaluable.
That community is everything.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I want to talk about today. Is you're pretty involved with the San Diego startup scene in general, so I want to talk about that.
Yes.
And where we are as a community startup scene.
Yeah.
So you're working on with Startup Grind.
Yes.
Do you want to mention just a bit about that? Then we can get into the nitty gritty.
Absolutely. So I just recently in December, I became director of Startup Grind's chapter in San Diego. And pretty much what Startup Grind is like we held once a month event, second Thursday of every month, where we have like what I like to call it an accessible event, because whereas like a lot of people might go to like a lot of like entrepreneurship events, like someone's on a stage, like you can't ask them questions, like you're on the same level, the same platform as a founder, investor, change maker. And like usually me, like I'm up interviewing this person, and it's one-on-one, but like there can be a Q&A after, and then before and after the event, like the founder, investor, change maker is like they're in the crowd, they're talking, they're like they're completely accessible, and I love that aspect of Startup Grind, because it's just like you have inspiration here, but like you can literally talk to someone who's making things happen, and that makes all the difference for some people.
Yeah, totally. And that's one of the things I think is unfortunate about like a new startup scene, like with San Diego. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's pretty new, and what happens is you have the people who were like have high status before, who were in like pharmaceuticals, that's big down here, real estate,
biotech.
stuff like that.
Biotech.
And in their industry, when they go to like conferences and everything, it's at like a hotel, and there's a person on the stage, they give a talk and everyone cheers about climbing the corporate ladder or whatever.
Exactly.
And then they all just disperse and leave. And it's totally different than this industry, where everybody is more accessible. So what happens is like a lot of the events end up becoming that way in the startup world down here, or you have these people that were never once entrepreneurs themselves. They were VP of this or VP of that, and they've done big things at big companies, but they don't know how to like go from $0 to $20,000 and beyond. Like they have no idea.
Exactly.
And they're the ones giving all the advice. And so what that ends up doing is it makes it so there's no actual good tangible advice for people like getting off the ground. And you need that when you're going to have a startup community.
Well, a lot of the people that I've met through Startup Week or Shape or all the startups that I've been a part of while I've been in San Diego, like not only are those people there, if you know about them, like they're super willing to help.
Super.
Like they're always very willing to give you advice, to tell you what they did. So it's like, if you can make this accessible venue for these people who are willing to be helpful, like, it's a no-brainer.
It's amazing. Like I think one person that I know that like has ties to all three of the organizations you just met, like it's like Brant Cooper, who is, God bless that man. He is one of my favorite people, to be honest. And I got introduced to like Startup Week and like started volunteering for Startup Week because I originally like met with him for coffee at Surf Dog Java Hut in Encinitas. And like, he was just like the nicest guy, like willing to help, like willing to make connections. And like people like that are all around in San Diego and they truly make the difference. And I love that aspect about like our startup community.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need to get everyone together. I think that's like San Diego is like a big area. And yeah. And there's like a separation between where we are at this very moment up in North County, down in, it's not even called South County, it's just called San Diego. But down in San Diego, there's like a big gap and for good reason. I mean, it's like 30 minutes on the freeway, which isn't monstrous. I mean, if you're in San Francisco, you live like an hour if you're down at Facebook away from the city and people like still, hook up all the time in the city. It's like, yeah, we're going here. You know what I mean? Because it's like more of a big deal. There's going to be like all these cool people there, tons of cool stuff happening. But that isn't quite the case here yet. But
and we do have this actual like belt in between us there's like a biotech belt.
Yeah.
Right? Like
the
whole Sorrento Valley. Like,
and
there, I mean, it's not entirely true, but there's a lot of like old San Diego business and old money and biotech that's literally like between us. Like, and I don't know if that actually, I haven't put thought into what that means metaphorically or whatever, but it's a long ways away. You have to drive and you have to get through that to get down to San Diego. And once you're there, it feels disconnected. Like if you run into somebody and you're like, oh, I'm in Carlsbad. Oh, I'm in Carlsbad too. Like it's this weird like lightning strike moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I didn't even know about you.
Yeah.
You're on the other street. I'm in the same.
I think I said this last time or the time before, but one of the research studies came out from, I think, Connexus or Evo Nexus.
Yes.
Connect is their thing. Evo Nexus Connect did a survey of all the companies in San Diego County. And for the last 2 years in a row, Carlsbad has had significantly more companies started than any other city, including downtown San Diego. And where?
Yeah.
Where are these people?
Raise your hand.
I saw that.
Like it's insane because like there's nothing going on up here. I mean, until Shape. I mean, what else is there in North County? Yeah. I mean, maybe there is something, but I couldn't find it on meetup.com. I couldn't find it anywhere, So these people exist, but nobody's like coming together. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's difficult to start a company and to get funding in San Diego, like actual entrepreneur friendly funding, because it's not old money, but it's like, it's the old business dude money, like where they're used to like real estate investment or something else.
Yeah. And it's changed a lot. And I'd love to hear your take on it, being connected to it and graduating somewhat more recently than us. But since I've been here, which has been 6 years now, and I came from Boulder, like Boulder was, even when I left, was already like this hub, like this entrepreneur startup
Brad
tech.
Feld.
Like, Brad Feld was there and killing it as always. And leaving there and coming here, was a total like culture shock shift, right? Like it wasn't the same yet. And that was 6 years ago. Like now it's significantly further along. Like it feels like it's connected and it's happening. And you go to these various events and it's like, all right, this scene has come a long, long way. It's still relatively new, but I'd love to hear.
I don't know what's the size of Boulder, like physically,
population wise.
Well, I mean, just like how far away do you have to go to get to?
Oh, no. Yeah. Like
it's all like right next
Boulder
to each other.
Propers. Right? Yeah. You're
it's all like
biking everywhere.
Boom. It's like all right in one small area. Whereas we have like downtown San Diego. Then we got the Sorrento Valley Del Mar stuff. Then you go all the way up here in Encinitas.
It is a large county.
It's like, there's like a lot. There's there's the East County over by Rancho Bernardo and like all the Sonys over there and HP's over there and, other companies that are bigger over there.
Other things.
It's like a big area.
Yeah. But in what you've seen, like, how's it changed?
So I'll echo a couple of things that you've said, because when I was at USD, so I started at USD in 2010, and like a lot of this stuff that I like go to now, I knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't know if I know about it now because I'm just more entrenched in the community, or if because there's just more going on. But like I've absolutely seen more action and activation towards entrepreneurship in San Diego, even in the time that I've been like trying in this community. So, like, obviously, there still seems to be like the disconnect between like talent and dollars. Which is unfortunate. But I think that, you know, we're slowly like getting to a place where even like we're attracting like money as well.
Right.
So.
Yeah, talent is an interesting one that gets brought up every team that I've been a part of that has done a startup here. Talent is always we're lucky with who we have in our team, but like if it comes time to go find that other unicorn or narwhal to join the team, like it's tough, and it always gets brought up. Like there's plenty of people who are like migrating out of the valley because they can't do it anymore, they can't afford it, or they can't sustain it. And there's a lot of people who come down here, but it's like it's not a ton, and if they do, they get like quickly, you know, swallowed up by Amazon or by, you know, whoever else.
Right.
It's just like we'll soak up that talent quick.
Yeah. Did you guys know about like that tacos and tech event that happened in the city, like San Francisco?
No.
So there was a lot of San Diego companies, like they went to San Francisco for tacos and tech, essentially like as a marketing campaign for San Diego. And like a bunch of like the startups were pretty much like looking at talent from the Bay Area, which would be amazing. One of the things there is like I didn't see a lot of like North County things. Obviously, I don't know everyone from North County because like no one does. But like people leave like the New Yorks, LAs, San Franciscos to go to like a North County, San Diego situation. Like you're not leaving San Francisco for downtown San Diego usually.
Right.
So like being able to like have that kind of visibility like is something I still would like to figure out some way to help as well, because
and there's the thing is like too, it's like visibility comes in the form of tech media. I mean, that's usually where it comes. And there's we're not really in the tech media down here because there's no big like tech companies down here, like startups specifically. I mean, there's HP, like I said, Sony and Amazon and Walmart Labs and all that jazz. But there's no big startup.
We need a Snapchat.
And there's never been any exit. There's never been any startup exit in San Diego. So there's like no rich entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm sure there is, of course, but you know what I mean? There's not really very many. And there's nobody that's like, hey, I'm a rich startup entrepreneur. I want to angel invest. Like that's like super visible that you can just like see. So where you contrast that with San Francisco, and there's like just everyone's like a rich entrepreneur, angel investing in everything. I mean, it's like abundant.
Of course.
And so therefore it's very difficult to have new companies start here. And if you can't have new companies, then you have very few companies. And that means you have very few to no exits, which means it just stays that way. It's a vicious cycle. So we have to have like a big tech company down here, or we have to have something that starts.
We got to have
companies.
our Snapchat.
Yeah. We have to be able to start companies here.
Absolutely.
An accelerator would be great.
I think an accelerator would be incredible at that. And it's something that San Diego needs. I think we need like some like dedicated, I'm not going to say like tech stars, but like something like that, that just helps like launch San Diego, because we have great people here, people with great ideas, and they can't all seem to make an idea come to fruition for whatever reason, from either like finding the talent, finding the money. And so programs like that are so crucial to and an accent on the achievement of future startups. So I think something like that needs to that's like really solid, needs to come to San Diego.
Honest to high heavens, man. It's just more about that whatever that is, that entity bringing VCs and angels out of the woodwork in San Diego to one specific location at one time.
Yes.
Like they all get in a room together and watch startups tell them about themselves. You know, that's like the only way that this is going to happen, because they're all like, I'm just chilling in my house in Rancho Santa Fe or Del Mar or wherever the heck they are. And you have to like, I don't know. It's just, there's nothing like an accelerator or anything like that to help startups.
Right.
That needs to happen. It needs to happen. Not that like this has to become San Francisco. I don't want San Diego to become San Francisco, but North County's got something so cool. And me being in startups, I would love to have more of that around me.
Yeah.
Just because it's enjoyable.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I need it.
Let's figure it out.
Personally.
Yeah. So what are some, I don't know, what are some, like you mentioned tacos and tech, you thought that was kind of cool. What are some other things that you're seeing in San Diego happen that you think's kind of cool, like for the startup scene?
My favorite thing in San Diego is always going to be Startup Week. So it's
Is that involved that one?
Yes. So that is so Startup San Diego, nonprofit organization. They throw Startup Week as well as Convergence and Marsh Mingle. But Startup Week itself it's a 5-day like 200 event.
It's crazy. Have you been? You've been out of town.
I was gone, man.
Yeah. It's nuts. I've been past 2
year.
years. Like it's crazy.
Go this year.
Yeah.
When is it this year, by the way?
So June 19th. I believe it begins June 19th. Don't quote me on that though.
I won't quote you.
Put it in your calendar
I
right
promise
now.
I won't quote you.
Please don't quote me on that. But and also start at San Diego. Please don't fire me. But it's like 200 events, a little less than 200 events. So there's like a brew track, a bio track, a seed track, an advanced stage track, like a track for like any stage of a startup, and for like most of the prevailing industries of startups in San Diego. So you can go to like any like event where like you have people, founders, investors, etc., like talking about what they're doing, what they've done, their journey, and best practices as well. It's such an educational event, like in a fun way. And you know the tickets are like $25, and you can get an MBA in a week. You know, it's just incredible.
And they do a great job with it. Like it's impressive.
They guys,
very nice. They do. It's a week long, and it's there's so many events every day. And
what
it's
is an
really
event?
Well put.
What is
together.
an event? Like you go to someone's startup and they're like, "Eat cheese and wine."
Well, I can say that one in a second, actually. But so the events, as far as like any specific like talk, that's just like an event in itself. Like it's just a talk. Like people go to a room, they're usually overfilled. We had 3,000 last year, trying to get 5,000 this year. And so people will go to like that talk. But as far as like a social event, and I'm actually co-lead of the social track this year. So come to our social events. We have like an opening party, which is like, like last year was at Port Pavilion. So we had like 1,000 people there, and like food, there are like the aerial artists, and like you're just like seeing like the best of San Diego startups.
It's a big aerial artists. What does that mean?
So like the you know like the people that like hang from like those
the
like
towels and the sheets, the towels, the towels.
Like these terry cloth towels. Like it's
so short. It's incredibly short.
Yeah. But yes, exactly that. And,
are they using towels?
And no, you're fine. And we have a startup crawl where I said I'd come back to that. So we do have a startup crawl where like you can go through like a bunch of startups, and they'll have like beer, wine, cheese, food, like whatever like they decide to serve. And you can see like that startup, their space. Usually like the founder or someone at the company will like say a little bit about their company, and you get to like go like to 3 different startups on your track.
It's a giant living museum.
Groups. I like volunteered and led one of those groups.
No way.
2 or 3 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah, it was
You're
fun.
a tour guide.
I was a tour guide.
No way.
I was like, I don't know what this place is.
How do you know enough about downtown San Diego to be a tour guide?
Oh, I don't. They told me where to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, we are here.
We need to go. We need to go back to Evo Nexus, I guess. I thought we just came from there. Sorry.
Yeah,
awesome.
that's a good time. So you have like hundreds of people like going through San Diego, going to all the different startups, and then there's like an after party at. So like last year we did it on the rooftop of the 707 Broadway parking structure, and
It was at DT once, wasn't it? Was that the closing party? Digital telepathy down there.
so there was an event. I don't know if they had the closing party.
Oh, maybe it wasn't the closing party.
But first of all, great company as well.
Yeah.
And the great supporters as well. But last year, 707 parking structure, and it was lit. Like, because like you
More
like,
people with towels.
yes. Well,
Bring your own towel.
no towels there. But like because like you're drinking at every single stop. And then you get there where there's a bartender and like there's like food, like people are having a good time. Like people are just, it was incredible. So we have that. And then there's like we had the demo night where like some startups like come demo their startup. And then like we have like a closing party.
People win a giant check.
It's so.
You ever won a giant check?
I haven't.
I have one in my closet.
You do?
Yeah, I have a $10,000.
10,000.
San Diego
Did you
Venture
try
Group.
to take it to the bank?
I
did. Like, I would like to deposit.
I did. I tried folding it and putting it in my pocket. It was embarrassing.
Somehow they sent me a really large one.
2012, San Diego Venture Group does their pitch fest.
Yes.
And we won it. We won the whole thing. Yeah.
Rad.
It was crazy.
With
that was Blurtopia. That like I made a little app where you could ask people questions. It was like a social answering, like question and answering. There were a bunch that came out like Polar and like right around the same time. It was kind of one of those weird things where three
and
things
Jelly.
show up.
I remember Jelly.
Jelly was I think a year or two after that, but we'd already stopped what we were doing. But yeah, that was cool.
Yes.
There's also, was it the closing party or just another drinking party?
So
at the quad, which you rented out the quad.
Yeah, at the courtyard.
A courtyard, yeah.
Yeah. So we had like a closing party where like there was like 100 startups there like that had their own booths.
Set up a little barrel.
It was like a barrel. Like Neil, do you know Neil Bloom? Like he's set those barrels up. It was like the coolest thing ever, as opposed to like just a regular tabletop.
Yeah,
and
that was a lot of fun.
It was great fun, like great startups. Obviously, they all had like their swag and everything like that. And then like there was like a band and like there was an award ceremony for like top categories, things like that. And it's a good time. So like the social events, like they're really good for Startup Week, but also the content at Startup Week is stellar as well. It's very well put together.
So every day you can go like walking around and touring startups. You can listen to people give talks, and then you can also have parties every night. That kind of thing.
So there's a party every night. You can listen to talks. You don't go through startups necessarily every day. That's just the startup crawl, which is usually like the Wednesday of the week. But you meet all of their founders during the week, and it's incredible.
That's cool. We should
everybody go check it out. Get a ticket.
I think Andy White is leading up a lot of that stuff, right?
So Andy White is a part of Startup San Diego, and he's he does a lot for Startup San Diego and Startup Week. So Austin Neudecker, are you familiar?
Yeah.
So Austin Neudecker from Rev, another native San Diegan, and one of the most incredible people in San Diego as well.
That's cool.
So he started it with Mel Gordon of Tap Hunter, and
no way. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and
she started that.
And Tim Ryan of, I'm going to get his company wrong, but Tim Ryan.
Okay, not Tap Hunter.
Of Not Tap Hunter. And like together, like the three of them are incredible. I've had the most experience with Austin.
Okay.
I think he's the perfect person to do Startup San Diego and Startup Week, because he's just one of those people that like truly is trying to give back and is truly like really like not just trying to be a yes man. Like I've sat down with him talking about like others like startup ideas.
And he has
for
said
myself.
no. You've heard it.
I've sat down with him and he tore me apart, you know, and in the best way possible. And then like kind of like
I just ripping you. This is really good for
you know, but I asked
I'm
for
not
it.
saying no.
And he tore me apart, you know, and I asked for it, you know, and then he gave me a book and a hug and
put you in a box.
Yeah, and shipped me off. No, but like so like just like people like that are running the organization, like that's the best thing for San Diego startups, because everyone, they're just so selfless in that organization.
Yeah, I was going to mention Andy White had mentioned, hey, you know, maybe you should look into doing a startup week in North County. And I was like, yeah, when I figure out who's up here.
So yeah,
Be a very short startup crawl. Like first you start at this office, then you walk to that.
No, it'd be a very
office.
long startup crawl because there's no downtown. You'd be like driving it.
Very long. But actually, so one thing I was talking about with like our team for Social Track was like we want to figure out some way to do something interesting in North County. Perhaps
this is what you do. This is exactly what you do. You know how they have up here, they have all the surfing contests, the bodyboarding contests, and all that stuff. They stick all the tents on the beach, or they have concerts on the beach. You get all those tents on the beach. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Then you have startups in each one. Towels. You have startups in each one, and each one can make towels.
Yep.
It's a requirement. If you want to have your booth, you have to have a startup towel.
Yeah. Do you have to hang from it? Or?
And then you do it. You could even do it down by the pier if you want to pay that much money. Otherwise, you just do it at Ponto Beach. But that'd be pretty sweet because then you can walk real quickly.
Then you can do the crawl.
Yeah,
I like that idea because we're trying to figure out some way to add North County. It might not be for actual startup week. Once again, don't quote me on this. But we're talking about potentially like even like some kind of opening party here at Common Grounds.
Yeah.
Like the Friday before, and maybe even considering a way to find like coaster tickets to see if like we can find a startup in Encinitas, like or two, and like see that, and then take the coaster up here.
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
like an extended crawl.
Exactly.
Take the train.
Exactly. Take the train. Hopefully you're not like too drunk on the train because I don't know if they'll like kick you off. But
find out.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. But
Uber.
So absolutely. So those are things that we're like trying to incorporate. So stay tuned because like we know like there's people up here in North County, and
there are.
Yeah,
you're looking at
we're sick of driving down there. So much traffic.
Exactly. Yeah. And so like we're trying to figure out a way to like not only like show like this is North County, but like show North County people North County. Yeah. Because a lot of us don't know each other. You know?
Yep. I would agree with you on that.
For real.
So there's a couple things happening up here. There's
Shape. That's shaping up.
That's one thing. Oh no, there's also Full Stack. If you're a developer and you want to go,
Full Stack is great.
Full Stack is at Planning Center, and they do, I believe, the first Thursday of every month.
No, they just switched. They did for a couple of years, but they're switching to a quarterly. So now it's once a quarter.
Oh, okay. Well,
so it's up to you to figure out what a quarter is.
You can come to Shape the last Thursday.
Shape is last.
Next week. You can come. And you can listen to Brian Jones, who made CodeKit, which a lot of people use.
And he's fun to listen to.
Yeah, he's super cool. He's a great speaker. I was like, yo, man, you want to speak? And he's like, oh my gosh, you had me at public speaking. He's like,
yeah, it'll be good. That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
I'm going to take a bath tonight.
Yes. I can't wait to be able to get to one.
Yeah, it's going to be good. All right, well, that about wraps it up. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
We look forward to what you're going to do with Startup Week, and looking forward to this summer. Maybe we'll have him back on to see what's going on as we get closer to that time.
I'd love that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
But thank you everyone else for listening in, and we will see you next week.
All right. See ya.
See ya.